Greetings everyone, it's Flea. We're back again with another So Rare video. Now today, as we can see at the top, we have a notification because we have rewards. The midweek match week, if we can call it that, has finished up. We're going to go over how my teams did, how the top teams did, because I'm actually very curious what the kind of go-to lineups were, and everything like that. So I'm excited about that. Tomorrow will probably be a video of me constructing my lineups for the next week. But with that being said, let's go into my teams. And it was of course, the 15th to the 18th. Now I did put together a paid team, but none of them had games. I more used it for this week, which I'll get into in a moment. But my casual team finished 40,840th with this lineup. Now, I apologize. Ramos, Giancarlo, let me know how to pronounce it. I apologize. But he did not have a game, but Liverpool and Genk, I believe is how you pronounce their team name, had games this week, and they performed all right. Navigator was a sub. Fabinho got subbed off at half or just past half. So in overall, I put the bonus on my goalkeeper, and it worked out relatively well, I would say. With that, and also just overall finished in the top 50%. So we will be having, if we go to the prize pool for the 15th to the 18th, we can see that there were 100,000 people, meaning we finished in the top 54,000, so below that. So we get a tier 1 common player, which can help us towards the next weeks. Tomorrow we will be building our lineups, of course, as I stated. But I'm happy about that. Now, also we had limited lineup, which I placed 17,000, and I believe, yeah, there were like 18,000. So that amount of people got 0 points along with me. No worries, I wasn't expecting anything. No one had games of any of the moments I had, or the players I had. Now, in my training lineup, I only had one lineup because I kind of learned something. So you're actually able to, if you didn't know, now if you did, and I'm just looking a little dumb here, I apologize, but you can actually put out multiple training lineups to utilize all your possible players to get a lineup out there, so you can help towards this boost, of course. And James Milner was the only one who played of this lineup. Doesn't really matter, though. Of course, no prize pool for training specifically. There are weekly events and stuff like that I nowhere near have the possible lineups for. But with that being said, I'm happy with my lineups there. We can go to my rewards, go to the page, and see. Whew, let's see. I'm excited. KRC Gank, that's what it was. But I'm excited for a tier 1 player, and we get, okay, a 20-year-old. I mean, he's young. I know you can't really use these common tier players in the limited competitions for under 20, but that's a usable card for years to come. We will claim him, and if we go to my club, let's see if he's there yet, because I know it sometimes takes a little while. All right, perfect, he's there. He's averaging 39 over the past week, but he's been playing a bunch of games for Leipzig, which is, in my mind, promising. We'll pull up, so what's his name? Nicholas Seawald. A young player, I think, is incredibly... Oh, I'm not logged in. How is that? How is that happening? I didn't know you had to relog in. Apologies. Here we are. Authorize once again. And Nicholas Seawald, we can see that his common card is selling, or limited card is selling for £128. I'm sure I could convert this to US dollars, which is what I use, but £128, 0.0484. Ethereum. And what we can also see here is that he's been playing a great deal of the games, 30 of the last 40 games, including 100% of the last 15 games, meaning he's filling into a great role here. He's under 23 until 2025. And we can see, I mean, there's a whole bunch we can check here, but wow, we can see of even recently, those have been his worst performances. Apologies. But in comparison, he was a sub here for 33 minutes, a little under the decisive score here, but above the decisive score. He's been playing well, not necessarily starting recently, but he seemed to have been playing super well while he was starting. So hopefully he can fill back into those roles soon, and he's absolutely a player I could toss into my lineup in the future, because I was kind of using Naby Keita, who is like a 50-50 player for Liverpool, plays most games but subs on sometimes. So hopefully this guy can get into a starting role, fill in our lineups, and we'll go over that tomorrow. But that is a good pull, a young pull, someone usable for a while, and I am excited about that. So with that being said, these are our past 2 pulls tonight. Hey, they're not bad. I'm happy with it. Now, of course, these are non-pay-to-win rewards this week, but I did put a little bit of money in for next week, and we'll go over those lineups I have prepped for that right now. So if we go to lineups and we go to my teams, this is the current match week that is going on right now. Wait, no, it's not. The 18th to the 22nd, where am I? So I built an under 23 lineup. So with that being said, my under 23 lineup, I only have 5 players that are under 23. I bought them just so I could put them in a lineup. Robin Yalving, I believe is how you would say it. He does not necessarily play. He's very young, of course, under 23. So maybe falls into rotation a little bit with years to come. I do plan to do this for years, of course. But for now, it was more so the cheapest goalie that I think could have a possibly good future, but just the cheapest person, so I could put together this lineup. So essentially only really 3 people playing. Maybe it gives me a shot to get into the prize pool. As we can see here, I would need that lineup to finish in the top 800 people. Is this the right match week? Yeah, it is. So the top 800 people to get a reward. There are officially 7,958 people. So the top 10%, it is going to be difficult, especially with that lineup. But if I get lucky, I get lucky. If not, we're going to work towards building that lineup here and there and here and there. But then over to our common lineup, if we go to, I'm on prize pool. If we go to my teams, my casual lineup, I was able to throw in last week's pull from our rewards in Moussa Dembele. All 5 of these players have games, and we can see that Nilsson, I believe, has a good chance of playing, but there are. We'll see how his performance does. I think this is the only one that was a little questionable. Fabinho, Liverpool subs a bit weirdly. They have unpredictable lineups, but he tends to start. So in my mind, this is a pretty good lineup. Gives me a chance to do well. Now, if we look at the prize pool for this one, right around the same amount of people, 104,000 people have registered. I am hoping I can get into the top 10% this week, so the top 10,000 people. But either way, if I just get the top 50%, I will be happy with that. And we can see my team, the matches. Liverpool is playing Norwich, which is a weaker Premier League side. So I'm liking my chances here. And then Benfica is playing Boavista FC, which we can go into FootMob and check out kind of the rankings, the overview of that game. But if we go to Benfica, I just clicked Benfica versus Ajax. That's not necessarily what I meant to do. But if we go to Benfica, I clicked on Ajax. Holy cow, they're not in there. They're not in their division. Anyway, so that just wouldn't be beneficial. But here we are. Benfica, if we can see their future matchups, they are playing the 12th ranked team, which in my mind is a pretty good matchup right there. So hopefully he does well. Hopefully he gets in the role. And then Nilsson is playing FC Union Berlin, which of course in the, if we go to leagues, in the Bundesliga are a recently, I guess they're doing well and recently been in a bit of poor form, losing their past 2 matches. So we shall see how that matchup works. But of course, Arminia Bielefeld, if that's how you pronounce it, is not favored in this matchup. So we shall see how this turns out. Once again, my least, I guess, promising pick. And then Dembele is playing RCL Racing Club de Lens, who, of course, Lyon is, I guess, I don't know why I closed that tab out, one of the top teams in the Ligue 1. So in my mind, it's a matchup I'm leaning towards, but of course they have some nice players in which in the midfield for Lens, and of course I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think that it'll turn out well. But with that being said, we can see that, where's the table? Where is the table? So, oh, guys. Okay, so they're right next to each other. I didn't realize that. So we'll see how that goes. With that being said, I'm going to close out today's video. That's my run through on the lineup that actually was, let's see, can do something for me, the free-to-play lineup. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your lineups are looking like. And with that being said, have an excellent evening, morning, night, whenever you're watching. Peace.